Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff, formerly of Welton Rayon, PA, a longtime sponsor of the Big O Show. Now that Dan retired, I opened Welton Associates. I started this firm with a simple belief. When you hire a lawyer, you should be able to talk to your lawyer. For nearly 30 years, I have helped Floridians through serious legal problems. At my firm, you get direct access to me, clear communication, and a lawyer who knows the details of your case. I believe technology should make legal representation easier, not more impersonal. At Welton Associates, you get direct access to me, clear answers, personal attention, and real advocacy. Look us up at weltlawfirm.com or give me a call at 954-966-4646. Consultations are always free, and let me know that you found me at the Big O Show.
There's just one place to enjoy your Acura Summer of Performance event, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So hit the road in the new ADX, $289 a month. Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The Memorial Day event starts now at Florida's #1 volume Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy a new Subaru today with financing as low as 0% APR, or lease a new Outback for only $278 a month. Shop SPPLove.com.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on the show on a beautiful Monday, July 13th, 2026. Today is day number 19,174 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,957 since the Canes were national champions, and day number 4,770 since the Miami Heat were world champions. That is your championship clock on a Monday, July 13th. All right. Got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, we've got the fight. No, not that Connor crap. No, I'm talking about the real fight. Obviously, Bam kicking Tyler Hero's ass. So that's we'll talk about that. Obviously, we got some stuff to talk about, man. We got dolphins, a dolphin story that you didn't even think was a dolphin story, but it's a dolphin story. There are dolphin characteristics in all of this. So we've got to definitely talk about this. I mean, I'm not going to let this slide. That's for sure. We got basketball stuff. We got the Heat waiting on what? LeBron, DeMar DeRozan, or Russell Westbrook. I mean, listen, waiting on LeBron is fine. I get it. It'll make it fun. I still don't think they'll win anything, but it'll be, you got a shot at being like a 3, 4, 5 seed or something. So, you'll have a decent season. You know what I'm saying? But the math still doesn't jive. The DeMar DeRozan, and when they add Russell Westbrook, it's just, it just starts to become, a joke to a certain extent. Anyway, we've got some stuff on the Kane side. Mario, he's got some people to convince, let's just say, because he's got dissed here, and we got to talk about this as he got dissed in one area. We'll talk about craziness because there's always some kind of craziness going on in sports. We've got the World Cup. We're down to the semifinals, the Final-4 in the World Cup. We'll talk a little bit about it. Obviously, FIFA rigging shit. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. We've got, obviously, music. We've got a little Bitcoin news, really important stuff, actually, to be quite honest. It's really, really actually impactful stuff. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, man, here on the show today. So appreciate all of you out there. Smash the hell out of the like button. Very important that you smash the like button. Visit our friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. We're going to be out there on Wednesday broadcasting live. We'll start at noon, I believe. So come on out, or maybe 11. I'm not exactly sure. I got to check. I think it might be 11 or noon. I don't know. One of those two. But either one, doesn't matter. We'll tell you, and we'll have some fun. So come on out and join us. Remember, always mention our name. You will get $500 off at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, baby. Alan is out there, the general manager. Of course, Eric Stampone does great work. We'll talk to him. I mean, I've seen so many movies in the last couple of weeks. I've been watching movies like crazy on the tube. I gotta go out to the theater. I haven't been out the last week or two, but I've been watching like a ton of movies. But anyway, so I got a lot of stuff to talk to Eric about. So yeah, man, we got a good show here. We got a bunch of things, and we appreciate all of you. Don't forget, please smash the like button. Visit our great sponsors like Subaru of Pembroke Pines. You can also make a donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You know what? Let's get to our market report right now, which, again, with the craziness going on in the Gulf still, that Strait of Hormuz, that problem's going to last forever. It's going to last for a while. This is nothing that's going to end right away. The stupidity is anybody that thinks that they're going to negotiate something. An MOU is nothing. It's just a promise to talk, not to resolve anything yet. And they're going to stretch this thing out because they want to hurt them in the midterms and all that kind of stuff. They're playing a game. They're playing good. Iran is playing their own good cop, bad cop. So this is going to affect the markets for a while, is why I'm saying it. The Dow right now is up only 79 points. It was up to 200 points just a few minutes ago. Again, I really don't understand this, but it is what it is. The S&P is down 23 points. The NASDAQ is up about 0.75 of a point. SpaceX, baby. down to $138. Listen, I don't give financial advice here. Okay? I don't give any financial advice here. This thing came in at $135. Remember when it shot up to 220? I've been telling you guys now, don't buy. This thing is going to come crumbling down. Because when you have a new IPO, and I'll explain it to all you all out there again, everybody that invested initially and they put in millions and they got cheap the stock at that point. When the IPO comes out, it comes out overpriced every single time. Well, this IPO came out overpriced more than anything else. No company has ever been priced like this, especially over $1 trillion, and put on the NASDAQ as fast as they were too. And they lost $40 billion last year. They're not going to make any money for a while. Everybody that initially invested, they're all selling. And they have it's like after the IPO comes out, like 2 or 3 weeks after they're allowed to sell, and all those people are selling. And I told you, hold off, because it's not the time to buy SpaceX. Let's wait for the dip. And here comes the dip, bitch. Right now, it is tanking, mofos. It is tanking. It's down $7 down to $138, and I say, let them crash. Hang in there. Still not a buying zone yet. We're going to wait for a little bit more of a dip here with SpaceX. 137 now. We're going to wait for a little bit more of a dip, baby. And we thank our friends at R&M Contractors, as always, sponsors of our crypto segment and stocks. Strategy. Today, they increased their USD reserve by $450 million. They now have $3 billion in cash, along with the 843,775 Bitcoin. And the idea of all of this is so smart, okay? They're not going to be out there like selling a ton of Bitcoin or anything like that, because they're expecting a dip. You know why? They have 20.4 months of dividend payments now with that money. So they're expecting some rough waters. And during that time, they will have to make some dividend payments. If you want to learn a little bit about all of this in a different way, but kind of the same, watch the movie The Big Short. And that'll be very educational. What is about to happen and is in the middle of happening right now, because we have all kinds of problems going on in car, credit, and banking. It's all there. It's kind of the same situation that happened in 2008. A lot of the same things are happening, except in 2008, it was only the housing market. Here, it's several markets. So this crash will be bigger than the one in 2008. And that's because everything else is overextended. So they're preparing for a dip. It's the same dip that I think Berkshire Hathaway is waiting for at the same time. Strive, Vivek Ramaswamy's company, just bought 18 Bitcoin for $1.2 million. They now hold $1.27 billion in Bitcoin, 19,900 in Bitcoin. The whales are still stacking. It's the guppies that sell. Okay? The guppies are the ones that sell. And right now, for Bitcoin, give you the latest, because it's been farting around the 62,000 area, and it is at 62,243. It is down 2.6% today. Okay? Beautiful buying zone. We are in the area right now where we were 5 years ago when we were at 16,000. Same thing. We're at the bottom right around here, and it's a great accumulation zone, as I would say. Not a financial advice. Okay, not financial advice. Neither is the SpaceX stuff that I've been talking about for a while. Okay, not financial advice, but prediction right on target. I told you that it would drop like a rock, and here we are. And I still think we're going to drop a little bit more. I'm not ready to buy yet myself. I'm going to buy some SpaceX, but I'm not ready yet. Not ready yet to buy a little SpaceX. Anyway, there you go. And we thank our friends at R&M Contractors, as always, for sponsoring our crypto segment. Reach out to our guys, Ray and Mike, if you live in Dade and Broward, even in a condo, because, you're in the middle of hurricane season and maybe you need a flood test report. And that is so important because if you live in a condo and you have some flooding, you don't want it going into your neighbors or downstairs. You want to be able to drain and all that kind of stuff. Well, they do all of that for you, man. They do it all, from complete remodels, kitchen upgrades and restoration, waterproofing your terrace and your balcony with the flood test report. It's so important. Impact windows, door installations, bathroom upgrades, floor restorations. They do it all. If you want to see how exceptional Ray and Mike's work is, go to their Instagram page at RMC Fisher Island and check it out. RMC Fisher Island on Instagram, and you can check out their work. Absolutely amazing. All right. Don't forget, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Please, you can send in your questions, comments, insults there at the same time. We appreciate it as always. You can do the super chats, but we always encourage Cash App or Venmo because we get 100% of the donation there. Whereas in the super chats, YouTube, dude, they're so rich and they take 30% anyways from working stiffs. Just unfair stuff. Anyway, so appreciate however it is that you support our show and smash that like button. All right, what else do we have going on before I get to sports here on the show? Sam Neill, rest in peace, from Jurassic Park. I mean, he has been in a ton of movies, but obviously as a professor in Jurassic Park, he just passed away at 78 years old. They didn't really say exactly what it was, but obviously it just happened. So rest in peace. You know what? Let's do this. Well, let's throw you a curve. Let's do music and entertainment first, because I usually leave it for the end. And you know what? I'm like, why not? Let's start off with a little musician, since I was talking about Sam Neill sadly passing away. And Bonnie Tyler also passed away over the weekend too. I think she passed away maybe even on Friday, I think it was. And a super talent, obviously, with all the hits. I Need a Hero. What's it called? God, my favorite song, which it's a heartache. Nothing but a heartache. And, she was fantastic, man. Rest in peace. All right, let's start off with musicians born on July 13th. All right. And let's go. Where are we at here? Yes, there we go. All right, here we go. Deborah Cox, Canadian R&B singer, songwriter, actress, born in 1974. Born in 1966, my year. Gerald Levert, R&B trio. Let's see. What else? Let's see who else born on this date. Mark the Animal Mendoza, the bassist for Twisted Sister, born on this date in 55. Roger McGinn, guitarist, vocalist with the Byrds, born in 42. Stephen Bladd, drummer with the Jay Giles Band, born in 42. Now we move over to other famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means, unfortunately, they have passed away. We start off with TV personality Dave Garroway, born in 1913. Actor Bob Crane, Hogan's hero, born in 1928. Politician, NFL player Jack Kemp, born in 1935. Actor Harrison Ford, born in 1942. He is 84 today. By the way, Jack Kemp, the last Buffalo Bill to win a championship, right? Because Bills haven't won a championship since the AFL, the days of Kemp. Let's see, who else celebrating birthdays today? Comedian, actor Cheech Marin, born in 46. He is 80 today. Sports commentator Tony Kornheiser, born in 48. He's 78 today. Actor Gil Birmingham, born in 53. He's 73. Filmmaker Cameron Crowe, born in 57. He's 69. Actor Ken Jeong, born in 69. He's 57. Musician Will Champion from Coldplay, wasn't on the other list, born in 78, 47. Musician Leon Bridges, born in 89, 37 today. Actor Leo Howard, born in 77, he's 29. And actor Wyatt Oleff, born in 2003, 23. There you go. Those are famous people born on July 13th. Now we move over to what happened today in music history. And in 63 on this date, the Rolling Stones played their first ever gig outside of London, where they appeared at the Alcove Club in Middlesbrough supporting the Hollies. In 64, the Beatles released A Hard Day's Night in the U.S. In 74, George McRae started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles charts with Rock Your Baby. Great song, man. His only U.S. #1, regarded by some as the first disco #1 single. The song gathered momentum as it hit New York City clubs. Rock Your Baby. Let's see. Woman. We go with, in 85, Duran Duran had their first ever James Bond-related #1 single with A View to a Kill. It went to the top of the U.S. charts. Okay, so this is a question. The greatest Bond theme song is Live and Let Die. That's not up for discussion. There's nothing there, okay? You have nothing. Don't even try, okay? You're going to embarrass yourself. Now, the real discussion, it's kind of like Larry Bird walking into the three-point contest. He walks into the locker room. Everybody's sitting around, getting ready, and he walks in. He goes, which one of you guys is competing for second place? And sure enough, he wins it. He puts up like a #1 on the money ball at the end. Larry Bird was cut like from a completely different cloth. So, A View to a Kill, Goldfinger. What is the second best Bond theme song? Now, that is a discussion. That one we can actually talk about a few of them from different eras that actually can compete against. Nothing competes with Live and Let Die. I'm sorry, it's over. Nothing. It's just done. But I think we have competition for #2. I really do. That's a discussion we can have. So congratulations to Duran Duran. And also in 85, as I regretted it every day of my life, the Live Aid concerts took place in Philadelphia and London to raise money for hunger in Africa. The Beach Boys, the Four Tops, Paul McCartney, Tina Turner, Elton John, David Bowie, The Who, Queen, Eric Clapton, and Bob Dylan all took part, but I was not there. I'm a loser. What can I tell you? Anyway, in 1990, Curtis Mayfield was badly injured after a strong gust of wind blew a lightning rig on him during an outdoor event in Brooklyn, New York. In 1999, in support of their acclaimed self-infused album, The Soft Bulletin, the Flaming Lips embarked on a headphones tour. that combine pre-recorded material provided to the audience through the customized headsets with the live stage show. It's a little much. In 2002, Fatboy Slim brought the seaside resort town of Brighton, England, to a standstill when he threw a free beach party organizer that expected 60,000 fans to attend, but more than 250,000 turned up, causing chaos on the roads with traffic jams over 10 miles long. In 2004, The Roots released their sixth studio album, The Tipping Point. In 2008, Amy Shark released her debut studio album, Love Monster, and it features I Said Hi, Don't Turn Around, Psycho, All Loved Up, and Mess Her Up. And in 2015, because if I'm going to talk about 50 cents, I got to say in 2015, 50 filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. A report in the Wall Street Journal said the businessman and actor had assets and debt in the range of 10 million to 50 million. Sometimes we have birthdays that weren't on the other list. Al Rex, bassist for Bill Haley and the Comets, born today in 1928. Percussionist Pete Escovedo of Santana is 91 today. Let's see who else. Country singer Luis Mandrell. I guess she's Barbara's sister or something. 72 years old. I'm not a country expert. I'm not an expert in anything. Remember that. No advice here whatsoever. Let's see who else, just in case. Rapper and producer MF Doom, born today in 71. Deborah Cox is 52 today. And Rich the Kid, no idea, but if his name is Rich the Kid, got to give him some love there. He's 34 years old, and that's what happened today in music history. How about that? Thank you all out there. Don't forget, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off at Caneswear, online at caneswear.com, or in person. Get anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. Dolphins gear, Marlins gear, Panthers gear, Heat gear. Who else did I leave out? I think I left out. Did I say Panthers? Inter Miami. There you go. All right. You might even still be able to get like Panthers championship stuff. Probably a little bit of a discount or something. You know what I'm saying? Just they've really got some cool stuff there at Caneswear. So take advantage of it. I see NorCal is number one. Let's Jeff in Long Island. Oscar Rojas is smashing it in Melbourne. C's, good morning to you. Cosa. Luis Medina, hear me out. Please, still down 110 pounds thanks to my higher power, and my homeless situation has been resolved. Wow, awesome. That is great to hear, my friend. Good for you, man. Good for you. Let's see who else out there. Rosendo, Jaybird in. Taking a beating from the team's press and fans, or what is it? World Cup officiating is taking a beating. The ball officially hit the wire, obviously hit the wire. Yeah. This whole World Cup is stained. And FIFA, we know it's dirty. Listen, I don't want to sound like this is the end of the world or something like that. But we do have to understand that things are changing. And I don't know how people don't realize what's going on. In basketball, do they give a shit about your money? No, because players don't have to play a whole season. They get paid to play a whole season, but they know that if they play 60 of the games, they'll be like, it's satisfactory now. It's all right for you to miss 20% of the season. I wish you could miss work 20% of the time. Because, most of us have to really work. Like really work. Like really work. By the way, go look at the video on this show for the last 7 years. I haven't taken a fucking vacation yet. You won't see it. You won't see a week off or 2 weeks off. You won't see it. Some people got to work. So I don't understand why people don't see what's going on. This weekend, Conor McGregor made $15 million and was probably injured with the knee. And it doesn't matter because Dana White's cashing in. And people are stupid and they just repeat whatever he says and all these false numbers about how many viewers they have for the weigh-in, for that, or for the stupid promotion in DC that they tell you how many people are watching, which is a load of shit. And then you watch FIFA and you watch what happened with Trump. You watch what happened with Argentina. You watch what happened with England. You watch what happened. I mean, it's just it just goes on, and it's obvious. And the people benefiting are the people in power, or the people that okay, no, we definitely got to protect Argentina or England or whoever, that are the elite because we need them for the ratings. And if you don't see what's developing in sports, I mean, when it comes to boxing and now, in UFC, I mean, that's a joke, dude. That's a joke. But it's morphed into the other sports too. And that's our problem, Jay. And sports is getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And you're allowing it. Because it's you idiots that go back to go watch Conor McGregor fight after being out for 5 years. And this is stupid shit. But you're the idiots that go pay for Mayweather and Pacquiao. And if you keep going back to NBA games in the regular season when they don't give a shit about the regular season, that's your problem. So you keep feeding into this bullshit and they know they can get away with it because the consumer is not intelligent overall. The consumer is willing to be trampled, lied to, and then you complain and you whine about it, but then you go back and buy it or you waste your time with it. You think I wasted 1 second of my life to watch the UFC? To watch Conor McGregor? Seriously? I've got way better things to do. Now I will, take part in the story that he lost and all that because any kind of losing that guy does, I'm all for that. But then again, he ends up, whether he was injured or not, or got injured or whatever, but he robbed 15 million. But did he really? Is it really his fault or Dana that they can take advantage of the stupid? Because basically, if you're watching Conor McGregor, what's wrong with you, dude? And so don't complain about what you watched. You're the idiot that was watching in the first place. You didn't get what you wanted? Well, it's your fault. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get what I wanted because I watched Pacquiao Mayweather. Well, you're watching Pacquiao Mayweather. It's your fault. Oh, I'm buying the season tickets for the NBA. Well, that's your fault. Don't tell me that LeBron missed the game or that this guy took the game off or that guy's off or that half the team is resting. That's your fault. You keep paying for shit. And this is the direction that we're going in. Now load management has been burned into your mind like it's like this terrible thing. And we've got to protect the players. Fuck you, bro. Get the hell out of here. It's only 82 games. Play the damn games, bro. I don't want to hear about it. Everybody else played them before you. Michael Jordan played 82 all the damn time. I don't want to hear about this shit. Your career is minuscule. The rest of us have careers for 30, 40, 50 years because we've got to work most of our lives. You guys only work for a few years and then you're done. Give me a break, bro. So that's what's going on, Jay. America gets dumber and dumber all the time. And if you want to be taken for a ride, well, then continue. Hey, look, the Marlin thing. They're doing well, right? I don't give a shit because I'm done. I'm not going to watch a product and I'm not going to invest my time, my emotions when I never see the owners keep the players. And all they do is shuffle them in, develop them, and shuffle them back out again. And who's to say they're not going to do that again? Like they've done over and over and over and over and over and over. So I'm done. But you all get, again, taken down some of you are back on the bandwagon watching like suckers until they trade away Sandy or they trade away whatever young guy develops and they don't want to pay him a boatload of money and all that kind of stuff. I'm tired of it, dude. I'm tired of it. But here's the consumer again. The Marlin consumer. You're a stupid consumer because you keep going back to a product that keeps screwing you over and over again. Notice how what happened a couple of weeks ago. They pulled a guy from a game that was going to have a perfect game. Okay. Now, Yuri is a sack of injuries, by the way. His little fragile body is even worse than Tyler, pretty much. Herro, that is. So I kind of even almost understand being careful with his little fragile ass, but whatever. Folks lost their minds. But wait a minute, dude, it's the Marlins. They're not committed to like winning. What are you watching as a fan? Where have they told you they've committed to winning over the years? Never. They never have told you they're committed to winning. They never will keep a core. So why are you complaining about the guy getting pulled for a perfect game? What the fuck do you care if they don't care? Think about that. You care and they don't care. You care to go pay for a basketball game. They don't care to play for it. You care to watch a UFC event and they know the guy has a knee injury pretty much, allegedly, and they still go through with it just because the show must go on. And you keep paying for it. So this is where, like I just said about the Marlins a couple of weeks ago when that happened, I go, why are you complaining about something? You have no right to complain. You are following a product that doesn't care about you. And this is what's going on. So the day the consumer gets smart and demands what they pay for, because if you think you're paying for season tickets and you're paying for season tickets, but 20% of the time you're not getting your values worth, and it might be even more than that because on road games, road teams that come in, they may rest some of those guys and it might be more, but 20% of your own players aren't going to play. So now the other players also aren't going to play and you keep paying for it. You're a stupid consumer. I used to call the Cubs fans stupid consumers all the time in the 90s and the early 2000s. But when they would fill the park and they would suck, I would call them stupid consumers. Oh, we fill the park, but they never win. They never, really get the. Well, then that's your fault. Then why do you keep filling the park? If they're incompetent, they don't do it right, then why do you keep rewarding them? So you keep rewarding the UFC, and they'll keep screwing you. And you keep rewarding boxing, and they'll keep screwing you. And you keep rewarding the NBA, and they'll keep screwing you. And here you go. Here's soccer. Now they expanded it from 32 to 48, and now they want to go to 60 because they just want to keep the scam going, because there's no need to have 48 teams in the World Cup, and there's certainly no need to have 60. That's way more than enough, because none of those teams could ever win anyway. So what are we doing? We're just being whores. That's all. And we're going to charge people a whole bunch of money to go to a World Cup game that is watered down to hell. And we're sitting here in America and think, well, our run was pretty good. No, our run was watered down because the game was watered down. So we got an extra win because we had crappier teams inside because they expanded it. Now they'll expand it even more. So our run through the World Cup will look a little better, but it's really not, because we end right where we never get over, the top 16 in the world. Doesn't matter if you have 24, 32, 48, 60. Doesn't matter what however it is. Whenever we get in, we're not going to go any farther than that. And that's because the teams that are, those are the teams that are pretty much going to win the World Cup. The ones that are inside the top 8. And we're never even there. And neither are the teams that are going to be 48 and 50 and 55. But it's all this, because they don't give a shit. So that's your long-winded answer, Jay, on what's going on. It's just not a FIFA thing. It's an overall malaise that's in sports. But hey, man, keep being stupid consumers, and they'll keep screwing you over. Jamie Zorria out in San Jose. Alexis Palenzuela. Yes, Herro is a soft little bitch. Brian Landis. Rosendo. R.I.P. to Sam Neill. Lindsey Graham. Trap. Let's see. I'm glad Bam did what he did. Tyler deserved it. Amen to that. Good morning, Big O. Listening from Oklahoma City, says Alan. Big Mouth Ralph. Que viva España. España. Los Gallegos. I'm going for Spain, baby. Definitely going for Spain. Ooh, by the way, why don't we do this? Let's get to our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. Please reach out to our guy, Alan Blanco, if you're looking for custom printing and embroidery. 786-618-1443. World Cup semifinals is set Tuesday, 3 o'clock. France taking on Spain. France plus 130, Spain plus 225 on the money line. On Wednesday at 3 o'clock, it's England taking on Argentina. England plus 165 on the money line, Argentina plus 200. Saturday's games, England defeated Norway 2-1, Argentina over Switzerland 3-1, Spain defeated Belgium 2-1, and France over Morocco 2-0. Seattle Seahawks sell for $9.6 billion to Vinod Khosla, the 71-year-old who is worth $13.7 billion. Mr. Allen, who is no longer with us, Paul Allen, bought the team originally, the Seahawks, for $194 million in 97, and they sold it for $9.6 billion. If he just sold it for the $0.6 billion, the $600 million, that would have been a 3x profit. They sold it for $9.6 billion. That's pretty amazing. The Warriors have hired Frank Vogel as Steve Kerr's top assistant. Everybody says, is that more chum in the water for Mr. LeBron James? We shall see. And in boxing action over the weekend, Bam Adebayo kicks Tyler Herro's ass in the Summer League in front of little boys wearing Bucks jerseys. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. All right. What do we have here? Let's see. Pat in Asheville, a well-known economist, says he can't say when, but we will have a crash like 1929. Our current situation is very similar to 1929. Yeah. We're overextended like we've never been in credit cards. More Americans are more delinquent in credit cards than ever. Card delinquencies are through the roof. What's it called? Housing foreclosures. In fact, the state of Florida leads in housing foreclosures. All these people that moved here during the pandemic, a lot of them have left too at the same time, and also other people have been pushed out. So yeah, we've got a financial crisis that is developing all over the place. Plus, of course, our country is overextended to hell. We're approaching $40 trillion of debt. We're printing money at a pace that's, faster than anybody's ever printed. The president we have in place right now has added $11 trillion all by himself. So they put in office for the second time the guy that's added more debt than ever. So this is all building up, and it's just a matter of time. And when it pops, it's going to be ugly, dude. It's going to be ugly. I've been talking about it for a little while, so following all the stuff that I follow, it's really intimidating how if you ran your business or your life the same way, you'd be way past broke. You would have been way past living under a bridge already. And that's how bad it is for our country. So, yeah, it's really tough, dude. Happy birthday, Julius Caesar, says Rosendo. Okay. Oh, man. He says, remember in 1929, there was no SEC and no FDIC and no Social Security and no Bill of Rights. Yeah, but now there was also no printer. Oh, man. That's when the dollar was backed by gold in those days. Now it's just backed by a printer, by nothing. I always enjoy Nancy Sinatra, You Only Live Twice. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know if it's number 2, but, there's a race for number 2. Who else is out there? I see Giovanni. I see John Padilla. Thank you all out there. The great Frankie Fresco says Dana White was talking about how Shakur Stevenson and how he paid him to attend and the broadcast had his name wrong. The issue is not the name being right. It's the fact that Dana paid Shakur to attend. Yeah. It's just, dude. Imagine all those people paying an arm and a leg, and yet UFC pays Shakur to attend and gets floor seats. What can I tell you, my brother? As the great circus showman P.T. Barnum used to say, there's a sucker born every minute. Amen. And we have become suckers in this country, and we let so much crap slide, and it's really amazing to me. Yeah. There was an ESPN article that revealed a study on load management. To summarize, it does not reduce future in-season injury risk. Karun, we watched people play 78, 80, 82 games in basketball all the time growing up. And they didn't have the hotels. They didn't have the medicine they have now, the training, all that. Those guys were Michael Jordan was playing poker till 2 a.m, going through McDonald's drive-thrus. Mickey Mantle was getting drunk. If Mantle would have eliminated the alcohol issue, his numbers would have even been even better. And he did what he did while he was freaking drinking half the time, you know. And I don't want to hear about this shit, dude. Load management. Your mom, your dad working 2-3 jobs. Load management. Your mom works a job, balances the kids, the house. Load management. I don't want to hear about that shit, dude. I mean, that to me, that's just all part of this whole soft ass society that we have going on. That's all this is, dude. Soft ass society. Tyler Herro type society is what we have. Alan says, I used to be one of those stupid fans, but since one day my night was ruined because the Heat lost a playoff game, I went to South Beach and there was some Heat players having a great time. That's when I learned. Yeah. All while hearing radio and listening to podcasts, I thought the advertisements are recorded and then played many times. Wow. Got to say it each time. I don't know what that means, Anthony. Malik Willis is going to be a top 5 QB this year. Dude, listen, you know what you should do, LOL Fins K? You should share whatever it is you're smoking with the rest of us. Because clearly you've got better shit than the rest of us. Okay? All right. You're probably sharing it with Omar Kelly. Big O, when do you think LeBron will finally announce when? I have no idea, bro. No idea. Zero clue. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's sometime in August. Maybe late July or something. Yeah. Not that much before they go to camp. He'll just keep this thing going for a couple of weeks, whatever. Everybody's got to wait anyways. He's signing a small deal. He's not signing a big deal. So he's not taking up a major room of anybody's cap. It's not, money is not the issue now. It's maybe he's just waiting to see how all the teams settle and what decisions are made. I have no idea, my brother. I have no idea. To me, and on the Heat side, if he comes, he comes. It'll make it a little better and a little more fun. I still don't think they'll win much. So I don't look at this Heat season as a season where you're going to challenge for anything significant. The only thing is I'm expecting to have a little bit more fun. That's all. I'm expecting a better team than what I saw the last couple of years. But I'm not expecting a team that's going to be a contender, with or without LeBron. That's why, for me, when he makes the decision, he makes it. I'm not hanging on and waiting and all that kind of stuff. Oh, my God, I can't wait for the whatever, bro. Big O, for your eyes only. Nobody does it better. Carly Simon. I have no problem with that one. For your eyes only. As a number 2 challenging A View to a Kill or Goldfinger or something like, for sure, dude. Yeah. That's a fair discussion. That's what I'm saying. The number 2 theme in 007, that's the discussion. It's not number 1. That's Live and Let Die. Number 2 is the one that we can have a serious discussion and say which one is which. What else do we have here? Tyler got what was coming to him for talking all that crap about Bam. I don't understand why he would engage in a conversation with some rando on the internet. Yeah, that's let's get to it. Let's get to the story, because I know that that's one that we've been talking about for a while now. So Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro reportedly got into an altercation, and Bam ends up punching Tyler under the eye, gave him kind of a little bit of a shiner overall. And one of the things about this story is that Tyler Herro was talking shit about Bam. And he was talking shit about Bam to a fan and DMing, going back and forth. And he was saying how he doesn't deserve getting paid the kind of money he gets paid because of because he's a defensive player sometimes. Let me find the exact quote for you here. Let me bring it up for you. So let's see where it's at here. If I have it, I know I have it somewhere here. But basically, he kind of took a shot at him and talking about how he doesn't deserve the money and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if when they saw each other, Tyler repeated it, said something else, set him off, Bam punched him. For me, either way, it does not matter. This is a story that is just fun drama to talk about, but there is no substance behind it, to be quite honest. These are both overpaid Heat players. Bam Adebayo, I understand all the stories out there coming out like, well, Bam is considered more royalty than Tyler is to the front office, and Tyler was jealous about that. And some people are saying that Tyler was also pissed that Bam didn't defend him in trade rumors and all that kind of stuff, which, again, that is petty ass shit by soft ass Tyler Herro. I'm glad Bam Adebayo punched him, but I'm also pissed that Bam has no fight on the court. And because he has offensive skills, he refuses to impose his offensive will every single night like a real star. And he's overpaid because he's paid to be a franchise player and a star, and he's a fraud. He's not. He's just a defensive player. And yeah, he can score some points, but he just won't do it every single night like a real star can, like a real star will, like a real star is driven to. And as for Tyler Herro, that fraud, that flunky here of a draft pick, this is a guy that in 7 years could have played 547 games. He played 394. He missed 153 games in his 7-year career here. If you did 82 times 2, that's 164. He nearly missed 2 complete seasons. And if you add the playoffs, which I didn't even want to bother adding the playoffs, and when Jimmy was injured, he didn't step up. This bubble boy lived off of that first season and never did anything else again. Soft, never plays defense, always broken down, and as you saw, a little bitch that gets punched in the face because he talks a lot of shit. Well, in the end, we can take sides, we could talk about this, we could talk about that, we could get into Draymond Green calling out UD and see if UD is going to call this out because that's their guy, that both those guys were kind of like grown under UD's leadership and all that kind of stuff. And whatever. And UD went after Draymond Green. I can read the quote and all that kind of stuff. So this is fun drama to talk about. But we're talking about 2 Heat players that are just guys that don't live up to the past, to the rich past of the Miami Heat. 2 guys that represent mediocrity, failure, and being average. What the Heat have been the last few years, and yeah, they got into the finals when they had Jimmy and the stars aligned and they got lucky and all that bullshit. But let's not kid ourselves. Those were just moments that they weren't really things to build on. They were just kind of lucky moments that you ended up in a situation. Let me tell you, the first one against the Lakers in the bubble, they actually had a chance because that Lakers team was also a really bad champion. That's one of the worst championship teams ever, okay, to win a title. And the Heat actually had a chance. If Bam and Goran were healthy, I got to admit, with all the breaks, 55-game season, bubble, all that, Miami had a chance there. But that was all luck that a certain scenario developed and a situation, and you were able to take advantage of it. And it affected many other teams. God bless you for that. But that's not reality. You're not going to play in those circumstances every single year. And then you had the other run with the injuries, but it wasn't reality. And the reality is that Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro represent a very mediocre era of Miami Heat basketball. Two overplayed players. And I'm sorry if the front office is the one to blame here. Riley in the front office. They're the ones in love with Bam. They're the ones that overpay Bam. The Heat, they're the ones that kept Tyler around. They're the ones that paid Tyler. They're the ones that did not trade Tyler the 1 year he was healthy 2 years ago. Bad planning, bad vision, bad foresight, mediocre draft pick that never lived up to shit. 7 years in, and all we kept talking about is potential and what he could reach and all that bullshit. 7 years in, we're way past that. Oh, it's a fun little story that we can talk about, but the bigger frustration is that Bam Adebayo doesn't ever show that kind of fight on the court offensively. That would be nice. And as for Tyler Herro, Tyler did what I expected him to do. He folds in key moments or he breaks down. There you go. Bam busted his ass. That's my 2 cents on all of this. And as for the Draymond Green stuff, so Draymond Green calls out UD, and he's kind of like, seeing if UD is going to call out his guys for the way they acted. Draymond Green, which, again, I don't like giving this guy much airtime, to be quite honest, because I think this is one of the most fraudulent individuals out there, and I still don't understand how sponsorships or how he gets jobs or anything like that, because you can act like a scumbag and a lowlife where you're punching people in the balls and doing all kinds of dirty shit on the court, and somehow or another you're getting all these breaks, which I don't understand. But he goes, I remember when I got into it with Poole, I remember one person when the Jordan Poole incident happened with me was really, really outspoken about it and really bothered me was Udonis Haslem. I saw Udonis Haslem get into it with guys on the team that were younger than him before a la Jimmy Butler then came out like that. That's ridiculous. You get into it with your young guy. I can't believe you did that. So when I first saw this, I was like, damn, these are the two young guys Udonis Haslem has raised. If you raise these young guys in light of what you were saying about me, and now he punches the other young guy, that's what you all co-raised. Are you going to have that same energy? And UD responded and said, I had to check Jimmy because I'm not going to allow him to disrespect Spo and what we do here. And you could call it heat culture or whatever, but, I'm going to kick your ass if you're going to get out of line and all that kind of stuff, which totally understand what UD did. Jimmy is Jimmy, dude. And, people fell for the con job. That's just kind of the way it goes. But eventually, it was going to go the way it always goes with Jimmy Butler. And sure enough. And that's why the Heat, again, had a chance to unload him and didn't. This is just a poorly run organization nowadays. And at this moment, it's a super desperate organization because they haven't done things the right way, because they refuse to do things the right way. And now the system has changed. So they can't even go to the tanking the same way either, because now they're trying to adjust to that. Whatever. It's really frustrating to watch, at least for me, extremely frustrating, because I sit here and predict all their bad moves. And it's just baffling to me how I can see what's coming and they don't. So this is a cute little story about two guys that are just extremely overpaid, and one is an extreme underachiever. I could care less. I'm just happy that Bam did hit him. I just wish he had that kind of fight on the court. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Don't forget, visit our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. They've got the Summer of Performance sales event going on right now. The 2026 Integra, $239 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, $289, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, $419 a month. The MDX, $489 a month. Tell them that I sent you, Larry Schlossberg, and they'll take care of you out there, man. Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, great people out there at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. I think Big O is being a little hard on Bam as a player. Can't blame him for signing the contract they offered him, but I do agree he is not a superstar. So then why do you pay him like a superstar? You pay him like a franchise player. He's not a franchise player. He stops you from being a real championship caliber team. He's a 3. He's not a 1 or a 2. In this NBA, as I've said many, 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 many times over and over and over and over again, things change, things evolve, and you have to adjust the way you look at things. If a player cannot impose their offensive will, they are not stars in this league. This is an all-out offensive league. As I've said, Bam would be a star in the 90s when points were at a premium. We're scoring 85, 90, 95 points. That's when Bam's 17 a game, 18 a game, and his rebounds and block shot. And actually, he'd probably end up with more block shots because the game was a little more condensed. It was closer to the paint, so it would have opened that up for him a little bit too. He's a star in that era. In this era, where you're scoring 120, he's not a star. He's not a star. Stars in today's NBA must be all-out offensive players. If not, you're not a star. You're a super role player, but you're not a star. And you pay him like a star. You pay him like he's Alonzo Mourning, and he's not. You pay him like he's LeBron, and he's not. You pay him like he's Wade, and he's not. Get my drift? You can't pay him to be a franchise player when he's not a franchise player. And that doesn't make any sense. And the Tyler Herro contract, I don't even want to talk about that shit. Pat says, just learned that Bam was raised in North Carolina here. It's common. Talk shit, get hit. Oh, man. What else? I try to explain that to my students, but they are too busy making TikTok videos. Well, Rosendo, that's their thing there. Kids love to make them TikTok videos. Big O, honorable mention, Tina Turner's Golden Eye. Chris Cornwell's You Know My Name. I'm telling you that we have a battle for number 2. Number 1 is Live and Let Die, and that's, I'm sorry. It's just not up for discussion. That's one of the greatest theme songs, not just the greatest Bond theme song. It's one of the greatest movie theme songs of all time. Yeah. It just is. It's just so phenomenal. Perfect song. At least cash shows you your money is being spent. Credit cards make it painless and convenient with no pain and payback. Yes, we talked about Sam Neill, sir. Let's see. Bam shoved Herro. He never punched him. That's no. He punched his ass. He punched him and he punked him. Is what he did. Seriously, like that is one dude that anyway. So the World Cup is going to expand to 64 teams, up from 48, up from 32. Just the money grab, that's all it is. They see what they can get away with, and they know that they can get away with more. And if anybody with the brain knows, it's like college football. We can expand the playoffs all we want. Does Team 12 and Team 10 or Team 8 really have a shot at the national championship? No. It's just not going to happen. Unless there's like freakish injuries in every round for a team that's up there, that every time they played somebody, the quarterback went down, the top defensive end or a tackle or something, and it crippled their team, and you were able to take advantage of it, or something, some wacky ass thing, but you have no chance. It's like the NCAA tournament. We expanded, and it's not like the team that's at 64, 65 is going to win, because the team at 40 is not going to win either. But it's a money grab. That's what we want to do. Let's expand the NFL playoffs. Let's add another wild card in baseball. Let's just, and really all we're doing is just trying to make more money for the business, for the owners, for the stockholders. But it's not like the consumer is getting a better product. No, actually, your product is being watered down, kind of like your money. All your presidents print more money than there is budgeted, because we end up spending more than what we actually have in our wallets. So we end up printing more and more and more. No president ever balances a budget. I mean, Clinton was like the last one, and they all print. And so they devalue your money. That's exactly what they're doing in sports. They're devaluing your sport by more expansion of the sport itself, by more expansion of the playoffs itself, but it really doesn't improve it. In fact, it puts it more at risk, because the better teams have to play an extra game or two, which then puts their players at risk for injury. So now you've got a chance at watering down the product and hurting the product at the same time, all for the love of money. Because that's all that FIFA is trying to do. That's all the NCAA is trying to do when they expand basketball or they expand football. That's all the NBA is trying to do when they keep expanding their sport, or the NFL keeps expanding their sport, or they expand their playoffs. It's sad because we're the ones that end up losing. I just wish people really understood that, and I wish people really would fight a little bit more for a better product. But they're willing to pay for a shittier product. And if they know that, then they're going to continue to take advantage of it. Oh, well, what can I tell you? Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. The Dow is now down 73 points. The S&P is down 24 points. The NASDAQ is barely up about a third of a point. And SpaceX is down to $139. So hang in there. We're still going lower. We're still going lower. Okay. Bitcoin is up to 62,742. So it went up a little bit. Now down 2.2% instead of 2.6% like it was just a little bit ago. All right. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, does Herro get a discount at Welt for the weekend? Oh, Welt and Associates? Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, he's got to, the consultation's free. So it's not even a discount. It's free. He can call Jeff. He's got to give, Jeff like all the facts. And then I think there's a chance that he can break it down. So, yeah, I won't call it like a discount, but I'll call it more like a, what's it called? An option for him so he can resolve his situation. That's what I would say. So, Anthony, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Is FIFA and NCAA college football related? Yeah, Frankie. Yeah. They work in the same whorehouse. How about that? All right. What else do you have there? They started with Diners Club and Bank of America when banks realized the gold mine they created. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I see what you guys' conversation is now. I have a feeling when Miami plays Milwaukee, and if Herro is healthy and playing, a fight will break out again, but this time on the court. Either way, he's not winning, so I don't think he should fight. He probably should stay away. You know who should not fight? Conor McGregor should not fight. Did you guys see that? I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. Whether he was injured or not, I have no idea. I really don't care. I don't understand why you would watch that shit when he was 5 years off. But I gotta give Machine Gun Kelly some love because he came out and ripped into Conor McGregor, and it was absolutely beautiful. Let me prepare it for you here with Machine Gun. Let me see. Okay.
Absolutely nothing, homie. Fuck this dude. That's how beef works. We don't like each other. Everyone's so I'm aware I did a post yesterday, and I should probably apologize for absolutely nothing, homie. Fuck this dude. That's how beef works. We don't like each other. Everyone's saying, oh, you commented on his age. He's only 1 year older than you about his knees. Hey, guess what? We don't age the same. My knees are awesome. Oh, you wouldn't say it to his face. I already did. That's why a picture exists of this little leprechaun punching up and missing me and me not flinching. Where the fuck is the rest of the footage where we toss this little guy like a piece of dirty drawers across the red carpet? That's why all the footage starts with him far away. Buddy, you look like a drunk, ugly extra in a Sherlock Holmes movie. What in the 1934 am I looking at? Fix your face. Holy shit. Oh, that's me. Why are you kicking him while he's down? Dude, fuck this guy when he's down, up, sideways, asleep, while I'm peeing. Sorry. Fuck him. What in the fuck, Liddell, happened to the landing strip on your head? Worst 10 seconds I've ever seen. Thank you for the walkout being longer than the fight.
You're wasting everyone's time. It's pissing me off.
I'm aware I did a post yesterday.
I'm a bigger Machine Gun Kelly fan now than ever. That's all I can tell you. I'm all for Machine Gun Kelly, and that's what I'm all about with Conor McGregor. F this guy at every point in anything. I hope he fails in everything. The part that pisses me off is that he made $15 million and ripping people off. Although, again, I got to say, if you're dumb enough to pay or take your time to watch that, that's your problem, not mine. But anyway, I think Max Holloway also kind of punked him too. But Machine Gun Kelly, much love, my brother. Way to go. The best thing, you know what I did miss, but I saw little videos of it. Sophie Cunningham as a ring girl. That was awesome right there. She is. It's interesting on X. A woman on Twitter goes, I don't understand this whole craze with Sophie Cunningham. She isn't even hot. And I saw that on my timeline. I don't know her, I don't follow her or anything, but it just came up on my timeline. So sometimes I'll see stuff like that and I'll respond, and she's a woman. And I go, it's interesting that you went straight to the sexualization part of the whole thing. But with Sophie Cunningham, she's self-deprecating. She has fun with herself. She makes fun of herself all the time. She defends her teammate and Caitlin Clark. She's super likable. She does this point thing that ends up becoming a viral sensation, which they did it in the UFC octagon with one of the fighters and all that, having fun. She has a relationship with Dana White, like friends and all that. So she wants to go out there, have some fun. She's super smart in marketing herself that way, that she just gets her name out there to a crowd like in UFC. She's a big name already, not a big-time player, but a big name already in the WNBA. And she's a social media phenomenon. I don't think people, when they look at Sophie Cunningham, they're gravitating to her because she's this super sexy woman, or, like, let's say AJ McCarron's girlfriend, right? She was a knockout, beautiful woman, right? And all of a sudden she's shown on the sidelines in that game, and Brett Musburger's going crazy and all that. And nobody knew anything about her. It's just everybody was fawning over her because her looks. She was drop dead gorgeous, dude. Awesome. Well, with Sophie, it's about funny things that happen. It's about her fighting for her teammate. It's about her. It's all about her personality. And it's funny to get that kind of a comment from a woman who should be more worried about people that just gravitate to women for sexist reasons. Well, with Sophie, they're not going for sexist reasons, or the craze for Caitlin Clark. It's not like people are, and like a lot of women like that, sometimes you're gravitating to people because of their talent. It's not necessarily because of their looks. And it was weird to see a woman comment like that, because she almost made it sound like, why give any woman attention who isn't, a smoke show? Which is kind of the opposite, that guys fight that whole thing, because there's a lot of guys that only will give women attention because they're smoke shows, and Sophie's a good looking girl and all that, but she's not like, but it's not really why people gravitate to Sophie Cunningham. I think people just like Sophie Cunningham because Sophie Cunningham is super likable. It's like Kelly Clarkson. How do you dislike Kelly Clarkson? It's like impossible. to dislike Kelly Clarkson. She is just extremely likable. Has nothing to do with any kind of physical attraction. It's just when you see Kelly Clarkson and the way she carries herself and all that, she's super likable. And I think that's kind of the same thing with Sophie Cunningham. And I thought it's genius of her to be there at the UFC. She's everywhere, dude. She's a social media craze. Everybody uses her pointing thing now for whatever situation that they want to come up with or whatever. You know, they're using Sophie's thing, and she's already a good player in the WNBA as it is, and all that. And I'm just telling you, she's doing a genius job of marketing herself. Mad props to Sophie Cunningham, dude. That is a lady that gets it, man. Truly gets it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. We do have Welton Associates up. And folks, we are in hurricane season. It is imperative that you keep this number, save it on your cell phone, 954-966-4646. If you get any kind of damage to your home, condo, never call the insurance companies. And I know it sounds weird. No, you call Welton Associates first. You explain your situation. They'll tell you if you have a case, and then they'll send their adjusters over. And then their adjusters will assess the damage, and then they'll attack the insurance company for you. You never have to deal with the insurance company. That is, you have no idea, because if you haven't lived that, it's so beautiful. And if you've had to actually do it yourself and deal with the insurance company, you know it's a headache. Well, when it happened to us, we had some kids that thought that they were Fast and Furious, and they went through the wall of our house. And Progressive was, but when Welton Associates took over, they kicked their ass, dude. They kicked their ass, and the bullshit that they were offering got crushed. And what Welton Associates and their adjusters assessed is what we got. And that's what you need. You need people fighting by your side. That's what Welton Associates are all about. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. It's not a coincidence that banks raise your limit when you have a history of not paying off the balance in time. Yeah. I love it. I get the feeling that he doesn't like that UFC guy. Yeah. Yeah, Pat. Yep, I'm with you there, my brother. Let's see, Jeff in Long Island. I got 3% back from Discover, and I get 0.24 off every gallon of gas with my mobile card, winning, and no change. I hate change. Well, Jeff, I disagree with you. Get a Gemini card, and you'll get 4% back in Bitcoin. Not cash that dies. Bitcoin that rides. So get your Gemini card instead. You'll get 4% on gas, 3% on food, and 1 to 2% on everything else, pretty much. Okay? Do it, bro. And you'll be stacking Bitcoin every day. I stack Bitcoin every day. Every day I stack Bitcoin because I buy everything with my Gemini card. And it's, I tell you all the time, right? This is what I do. So let's say, I'll give you an example. I'll get on my Upside app and I'll get gas right now. And let's just say for shits and giggles, I want to go to this mobile where I get 15 cents back. Okay? I can claim it. Here it goes. I can claim it and I can get 15 cents back, right? So all of a sudden I'm getting 15 cents back per gallon on mobile. And when the bill comes, I pay with my Gemini card and I get 4% more. How do you like them apples? So I'm double whamming. And sometimes there is food, restaurants, all that, and I'll do the same thing. I'll get the discount from my Upside from the app, And then when I pay with my Gemini card and I get a double whammy. So all of a sudden, I'm saving on upside, let's say $1.50, $2, $2.50 or something in gas. And if I put 15 gallons and I get 4%, then I'm adding another 60 cents. See what I'm saying? All of a sudden now, that together, you're getting a lot. You're getting a discount on the upside, and you're getting Bitcoin stashed. And it adds up, man. And there you go. That's a small way of stacking Bitcoin every single day. The Gemini card. There you go. And by the way, this is not advice. I'm not giving you any advice about upside. I'm not giving you any advice about Gemini. I know nothing. Okay? Never advice here on this show. It's never advice. I know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's see. Tyler Herro in Spanish is written fragile. Yes, he is. That is for sure. No doubt. All right. Mario Cristobal has an issue with one writer. One writer that I was checking out isn't necessarily giving Mario enough love. And I was kind of like thrown him back a little bit here because I think they should actually give him a little bit more love, but somehow or another, this guy hasn't won him over yet. And maybe he's right. Maybe I'm wrong. It could happen, right? So they talked about on this list about the team ESPN's computer predicts college football's 10 most likely undefeated teams. All right. And when they started talking about the teams and in the order, okay, the power index for the following 10 teams that are most likely to go undefeated. Number 1 is Notre Dame. Interesting. Who is on UM's schedule? Oh, it's Notre Dame. Number 2 is Texas Tech, even without Sorsby. Number 3 is Georgia. Number 4 is Indiana after losing Mendoza. Number 5 is Ohio State. And number 6 is Miami. Oregon is 7, Texas 8, Penn State 9, UNLV 10. The Power Index is a projection-based model that uses 1,000 simulations to project outcomes. The Football Power Index is a measure of a team's strength that is meant to be the best predictor of a team's performance going forward for the rest of the season. FPI represents how many points above or below average a team is. Projected results are based on 20,000 simulations of the rest of the season using FPI, results to date, and the remaining schedule. Ratings and projections update daily. FPI data from seasons prior to 2019 may not be complete. Okay, so that's how they come up with the formula that they put together in order for the computer to determine this. And one of the things that we have talked about on the show with Mario that this year cannot happen is what? The brain farts, right? He cannot slip up on a SMU-like game, a Louisville game, when you're clearly better than them and you're clearly better than everybody on your schedule. Notre Dame is the only one that is the challenge, but you should run the table. This is, however, the writer put together the formula, plus the computer, they have put together a formula that they're expecting Mario Cristobal regular season brain farts. because if they've got Notre Dame 1 and Miami 6, they believe Notre Dame will win this game more than Miami. I bet with whatever formula they put into it, Notre Dame has, I'm sure they have Notre Dame beating Miami in that same computer. Because if you have Notre Dame number 1 as the team most likely to go undefeated, and that's what Marcus Freeman is waiting for, by the way. That's why he came back, because he wants that challenge of to actually win a national championship at Notre Dame before he goes to the NFL. And he does, I got to say, at the time right now where we're standing at this moment, he does look the part for the NFL. Man, he looks the part. He looks like he's a damn good coach. So Mario Cristobal better have his ass in gear. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Now, Phil Steele, who is a legend, everybody knows, Phil Steele is the man. He talks about the ACC and predicts who is going to win the ACC. And guess who he has at number 1? The University of Miami. Don't worry, FSU fans. He's got you guys tied for 9th. Yeah, of course. You don't have to worry about that. At least you guys are there, tied for 9th. But overall, he's got the University of Miami looking to be the ACC champion. Let me tell you what he wrote. Longtime college football analyst Phil Steele released his final projected ACC standings for the 2026 season. Tied for 9th is Florida State. However, this would be an improvement from last season, incredibly disappointing 5-7 and 2-6 in ACC play. Steele's projection also aligns a cautious outlook by many odds makers and predictions about FSU what will look like this year, because it's kind of like an FSU type of thing that it starts off with, just to kind of talk a little bit about it. But anyway, whether those additions will translate into wins remains to be seen. FSU is slated to face several teams projected to finish ahead of them in the ACC. Steele's list: Clemson, Miami, Louisville, and SMU will be a challenge, while road trips to Pittsburgh and Boston College also figure to play a role in the conference race. Miami earned the top spot in the rankings, while SMU, Clemson, and Louisville tied for 2nd. It's interesting how Phil didn't have Clemson number 2 anymore. And that's because, remember, what's it called? The coach now, Sweeney, has not been an NIL guy. He spent some money this year, but it's not like you're just not going to make up for it just 1 year of spending, unfortunately for him. Well, that's his problem, not ours. But it's interesting how SMU and Louisville, the 2 teams that beat Miami last year, are right there in the mix. Tied for 2nd. Pitt and Virginia rounded out the next group in a 3-way tie for 5th, with NC State slotting in at number 7. Behind Florida State to finish, Duke is to finish 11th, followed by North Carolina, Wake Forest, and California in a tie for 12th. Syracuse, Stanford, and Boston College round out the conference. Apparently another bad year for UNC, and I'm here for that. I'm all for that. A bad year for UNC? Oh, I love it. I love it. So Phil Steele has the Canes being number 1 in the ACC. So at least the writer/computer doesn't give Mario that kind of love. At least you got something here to help out. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Anthony Kyle Campos, once again, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. He says, please play the Jurassic Park theme for Dr. Grant. Jurassic Park theme. I wish I had the Jurassic Park theme, but I also probably can't play it because I'm probably going to get tagged for something if I play that. That's the other thing about that. Yeah, that kind of sucks. You get tagged for that stuff. Brutal. And he's talking about Sam Neill. Let me read you the story, by the way, of Sam Neill. It says Sam Neill, the Northern Ireland-born and New Zealand-raised actor, best known for a starring role in Jurassic Park film franchise, died Monday in Sydney. His family said in a statement he was 78. Sam was surrounded by family and passed with the dignity that has characterized his whole life. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer-free. The cause of death was not disclosed. Neil revealed that he had angiomoblastic T-cell lymphoma when he announced it in March of 2023 video that he was in remission. In the video, he said he began treatment after experiencing swollen glands a year earlier while promoting Jurassic World Dominion. In April, he announced that he was cancer-free, telling Australia 7 News that I've just had a scan and there is no cancer in my body. That's extraordinary thing. Neil was a celebrated TV and film actor who appeared in dozens of productions dating back to the early 70s. Some of the most notable, Captain Broden in the 1990 Sean Connery starring role Hunt for Red October, Alastair Stewart's 93's The Piano, Chester Campbell's in the Pesky Blinders TV series, and Dr. Alan Grant in 1993's Jurassic Park 2001, Jurassic Park 3, and 2022 Jurassic World Dominion. There you go. Rest in peace, Sam Neill. Oh, man. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Stephon Diggs just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. And this is why Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs, because he's not necessarily the brightest bulb in the chandelier. I mean, this is a guy that has been in trouble with the law, has had domestic issues, has had issues with his teammates, all kinds of stuff. And this is why he lacks reality. So on the eve of training camp starting, in a YouTube video, Diggs reluctantly conceded that some number one wide receivers might be better than him at this stage of his career. However, he firmly believes he's better than virtually any number two option and is probably cheaper than some of them. In my opinion, I can compete with anybody, but take those as your number ones, right? You can't name a number two better than me. There's not a number two on a team. Diggs said, name your number two wide receiver right now and tell me how much he makes. And my last question is he better than me? Now, in the article, they threw out T. Higgins as the number two guy, which T. Higgins is. I take him over Diggs. But see, here's the thing that Diggs doesn't understand. There's some number twos out there that may be just as good, maybe better, maybe slightly less, maybe not as good as him, but just a little bit under. But guess what? They're not going to be problems on their team. They're not going to have domestic issues. They're not going to get a whole bunch of women pregnant. They're not going to actually assault women. They're not going to get arrested for anything. They're not going to be a problem. And that's the thing with Stephon Diggs. You don't get just a player and a professional. You don't. You have to get a whole bunch of baggage that comes with it. I don't think people that didn't sign Diggs or don't want Diggs around None of them are saying, oh, he's over the hill and he can't play. That's not the issue. The issue is it worth the talent for the headaches? And that's the reason why he's still out there. He easily could be playing on a team. He's right. He's going to be better than most of the number twos that are out there in the NFL. But almost all of those number twos aren't going to get arrested. They're not going to have a domestic issue. They're not going to have a problem. The coach will never have to get a phone call at 2 a.m. that, hey, coach, I've been arrested. Just not going to happen. And that's where Stephon Diggs doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that he's a free agent because he's a fucking idiot. And if he wasn't such an idiot, such a moron, he would be employed. And teams would happily employ him because he's very smart. He's very crafty. Nobody will deny his talent. He's always been a great route runner since he came out of college. That's been one of his positives, that he really knows how to get open and find a hole in a defense. And now at his older age, he's exceptional at that. But you find yourself unemployed because you're an idiot. It has nothing to do with your talent. It has everything to do with you being a moron. So my suggestion to you, Stephon Diggs, wake up, young man. As they say, smell the coffee. Figure it out. You're a dumbass. That's why you're a free agent. Not because people think that you don't have the talent and you can't play. That's stupid. Everybody watched you play last year. You can still play. You could easily help out a team. In fact, playoff potential teams and championship teams would love to have you as a possession guy because you'd be an absolute killer. But the problem is everything else that comes with Stephon Diggs. You can't bring him here if you're the Dolphins. Not with this locker room. Not with that quarterback. If he doesn't get him the ball or whatever, he'll lose his mind. And Sully can't have that. And Half can't have that. Half can't have some dude that's going crazy in his first year because he's not getting the ball or whatever. You know, they don't have time to do a Sean McDermott, go hug him and talk to him and all that about his half or whatever. They don't have time for that, bro. You don't have to baby or worry about other number 2 wide receivers. You will with Stephon Diggs. But nobody ever said that Stephon Diggs is the brightest bulb in the chandelier. And he constantly proves that he's not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let me see where the market is at right now, since there's been some movement in the negative and it's got worse. Right now, the Dow is now down 119 points. The S&P is down 31 points. The NASDAQ is up about 0.75 of a point. SpaceX still stuck at 139. We're going lower. We're going lower. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going lower, baby. You can bet your ass on that. We are going lower. I read an article where they announced the 10 teams that will have the worst records in the league. Where do you think your Miami Dolphins are ranked? the 10 worst records, where do you think the Dolphins are ranked in this article? Well, let's start off with number 10. Let's start off from the top. New England at 8-9. They've got New England falling back this year to 8-9. Will it be because their schedule was really easy last year and they didn't play a lot of tough quarterbacks? And now they're going to play a first place schedule. Will it be that the Vrabel distraction becomes a distraction? We're going to find out. I mean, killers and all kinds of other things never stop them from winning, cheating, and everything else. But, you never know. New Orleans, 8-9. And the Giants, 8-9. Then we've got Carolina at 6-11. Okay. This is one that you can go ahead, but they've got the Jets at 6-11. Not exactly sure how that's going to happen. Cleveland, 5-12. Tua and the Falcons, 5-12. The Colts, after the season they had last year, with Daniel Jones coming back from the injury, they've got him at 4-13. Third worst schedule in the NFL. Second worst schedule, the Arizona Cardinals at 3-14. And guess who has the number one worst schedule in the league? Our beloved Miami Dolphins at 2-15. They've got the Jets winning 6 games. They've got the Falcons winning 5 games. They've got the Cleveland Browns winning 5 games. Miami with 2. I've been telling you all year, all offseason, that I think they'll struggle to win 2 games. And I could see them in that 2-game mark. Maybe sneaking a 3. Maybe. I don't expect a lot of wins. They're with me on this one. When I read this, I'm not with them on the Jets. I don't think the Jets will win that many games, but I guess they figure the Geno Smith thing and they're going to play a little bit better and have a better running game or whatever. Maybe they expect a couple of easy wins against the Dolphins. I'm not sure, but it's kind of wacky that the Jets would win 6 games. I don't know where you guys stand with that one, but I thought it was the Dolphin part didn't surprise me. It was the Jets that surprised me. It was the Colts falling that badly. It was like, wow. That they pretty much feel that everything that the Colts did last year was completely flukish for them to fall that badly to 4 wins. That would be pretty bad if you're a Colts fan. Stephon Diggs comes to Miami and will break the record for Hill's kids. Yeah, he'll challenge for sure, at least. There's no doubt about that. FIFA expanding the World Cup tournament is a huge mistake. What are the qualifying rounds for them? Money and politics have ruined sports entertainment. They're in the process of it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Greed and politics. Yeah. I got to say, I will agree with that, my friend. Nothing new with FIFA. The Roman emperors came up with a system called bread and circuses. Let's see. Big O, I agree. The Dolphins will be very rank this year. Our Dolphins are going to struggle on the defensive side of the ball big time. They may be able to put up some points, but they ain't stopping a nosebleed. Yeah, they're going to be really bad on defense. Yeah, Rosendo says, like I said, realistic 2 wins. I will be happy with 5 wins. I'll be super impressed with 6+. 5 wins, Hafley did a really good job with this team. Like a really good job. 6 wins, he did an excellent job. Jesus. Yeah, there's no way I see that. I just don't. No. No. I do not see that happening, my friends. I sorry. Okay? I sorry. I can't tell you that I'm sitting here super excited as a Heat fan when you tell me about DeMar DeRozan or Russell Westbrook. I almost feel like you're expecting to fail on LeBron, which I think you're going to fail on LeBron. I think he's going to go to Cleveland, dude. Come on. I would go to Philly. To me, that's where he has a chance to really win a title. Cleveland, they'll be pretty good, and they'll have a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I don't even know if maybe Philly will still be better than them, and definitely the Knicks. I just don't see it. But hey, man, to each his own. He said he wanted to be happy. Dude, he can be definitely happy in Cleveland. So I get all of that. Here, he at least would come to a competent organization and coach. So he'll have peace of mind that that competency is around him in that sense of the coaching and day-to-day and all that. But he's not coming here. And then when you hear the other names, DeRozan and Russell, oh God, I cringe. Russell Westbrook looks like a good dude overall. Now he is stubborn in his own ways and set in his own ways and all that good stuff, but he's just not an efficient basketball player. And at this age, he hasn't been an efficient basketball player in forever. And at this age, God, no. This is not, no, dude. No, this makes no sense whatsoever. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Russell Westbrook. Oh, my God. If you sign Russell Westbrook, I feel like the desperation is going to another level. Bam's a 2-point player. Giannis is a 2-point player, and now you add Russell Westbrook, who's not necessarily an efficient 2-point player. Yeah, no, doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And DeMar DeRozan, yeah, a steady mid-range shooter, no defense, old player, more desperation. None of it makes any sense. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And make sure you can send in your questions, comments, insults. Don't forget, visit our friends at Toyota of Hollywood. We were there last week, actually, at Toyota of Hollywood, hanging out with the one and only Herbie Lopez. Great people out there. 2,000 vehicles, 1,200 new ones. And make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. They're at 1841 North State Road 7, right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. It is Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Poor Big O. The heat is going to give him an ulcer. Well, I would have already had it. That's it. We're done already. I'm past it already, Rosendo. I'm over the hill already on that. The whole Jimmy Butler, the Tyler Herro stuff, all that other stuff that you should have made the moves, that's where I lost it already. Here I've already given in to the fact that you're no longer going to be an elite franchise anymore, that you're not very good in the front office anymore. I've already given into that because I constantly see bad moves. And a franchise that can no longer really build a real superstar team, unfortunately. You're adding a superstar in his 14th season. I remember when they used to add stars that were still in their peak. They don't do that anymore. It's just, yeah, so I'm there. I'm past ulcers and all that. That was before, when they didn't trade Tyler and when they didn't trade Jimmy. And that's when I was having, like, I was pissed. When I was fighting all the Heat fans. That's when I was ulcer zone. And I didn't get an ulcer then. Forget about it now. Now I'm done. I have no hope, pretty much. I'm going to watch and all that, and it'll be a little bit more entertaining, and Spo will coach his ass off, but there are zero expectations now. That's it. You've already screwed your team for so long, for so many years, you set them back. What can I tell you, my friend? Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. We do have a dolphin-like story involved here. We do. And this happened at Yellowstone over the weekend. Well, I think it was like on Friday is where it happened. And this is a grandfather was over at Yellowstone. And as you can see, the kid next to him has got a Dolphins jersey. So I think a Jarvis Landry jersey, 14. Now, I want to point out a couple of things here. Okay. One, this old man was as slow as Jarvis Landry. That's why he got caught and got lifted up in the air by the bison. Two, if you watch the video from that white car screwed the old man over. He had to keep cutting through the trees. And it just reminded me of the Dolphins in a sense, because the awareness of these people, you're right by the bison, you're hanging out. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing close to a bison? What is wrong with you people out there? I mean, I can watch this video all day long. The awareness of Tannehill, the slowness of Jarvis Landry. See? That's Jarvis Landry running a route right there. People always wonder, why didn't they bring him back? This, that. He can barely run. He runs like an old man on a walker. There he is right there. And it's so Dolphins that a Dolphin jersey would be caught in the middle of all of this. This guy's a Dolphins fan, definitely a Ryan Tannehill fan, because he had Tannehill's awareness and Landry's lack of speed. There you go. You mess with the bison, you get the horns, young man. How about that, folks? That was fun. That was fun to watch. I have to admit that was fun to watch. I did enjoy myself watching that. The Heat gave me acid reflux when they re-signed the Scrubberinis. No, how about Kyle Lowry? I lost my shit on the whole Kyle Lowry thing. I mean, Rosendo, you want ulcer? I hated that move. We would bring Ira on every week, and I was like, what the hell are they doing? Well, that's kind of like what I did with Ira for the last few years, constantly. What the hell are they doing? Yeah. I don't know what happened to the Heat, dude. I can't explain what happened to the Heat. They used to be elite, and now nothing, bro. It's just not the same. Unfortunately, they're just a franchise that is trying to grab a hold of the past, and they just don't know how to make their own mark nowadays. And they're not willing to do what they had to do, unfortunately. It really hurts, to be quite honest. It does. All right, we are out of here. We appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you all for tuning in, hitting the like button, making a donation, visiting our great sponsors. We appreciate you all. We shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.